All right.
All right. We're here. We are. Here we are. Hi, honey. How are you? Hi, Georgia.
Very good.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yay. We are live and we are fabulous. And we are with Melanie Phillips today and her wonderful staff and her puppies at delightfuldog.com. Delightful-dog.com. And
Yeah.
Melanie, you have such a unique business. You have such a unique approach. I can't wait to share this with puppy people out there everywhere. So you go ahead and I'm going to ask you why a maybe you could explain to us why a puppy daycare, puppies only. What do you think?
So, the reason we created our nursery is because puppies have what's called a critical development stage. It's the first
Okay,
20 to
tell us.
21, first 20 to 21 weeks of their life.
Okay.
And that's when their brain is growing the most and they can learn the most effectively. So we didn't find any around that existed, and we wanted something that focused on getting the puppies when their brain was still growing, instead of most daycares can only take them at around 6 months or
Okay.
certainly after 20 weeks.
Yeah.
So we
Perfect.
created this to focus on those developmental stages.
Okay. All right. That is wonderful. And then you have a secondary program also. Once they graduate here.
Yes. Once they graduate the nursery, they go to our preschool, which nursery goes to the first 16 weeks, and nurseries after that to 20 to 21 week mark. And in that, their brain is developing where they're ready for dog communication best. And so we focus on that. They learn to meet dogs in the adult dogs in the nursery, but they see more and learn how to play more in a group when they're in that older stage, about 16 to 21 weeks.
Wonderful. All right. Tell us what are you doing now? So you've got who? Who is this?
This is Mac, and he's a golden retriever, and he is learning what we call automatic check-ins. The more a puppy checks
All
in
right,
with you
that's the
without
first
you,
game. That's the
yes,
first game that we want to talk about. So automatic check-in. Tell us about that.
yes. So the more he just checks in without us asking, calling his name or anything, the more control you ultimately have of your puppy. So we
Okay.
make sure that he just turns and checks in with us without us always calling his name. And
Okay.
it allows for more control. And he's coming over here. Good boy. And then when he does, we'll obviously give him some kind of reward. And right now, food is working. Later on,
And
he'll get praise and pets.
praise and pets. Okay, so food, praise, and pets. I love it. And then you're also kind of using a few words here that will come in handy as an adult dog.
Yeah, we say good boy, good job, just so that when he's in group and he's checking in with us, that's also rewarding because we don't have food in our group play. Good
Okay. All
job.
right. I just love this. And you know what? I mean, we could do reels and reels of puppies. I mean, that's what I live for at Super Bowl is, puppies. So
Oh, absolutely. Me too.
absolutely. So we've got automatic check-in and Mac has been with you for how long?
This is his third week.
Yeah.
He's 14 weeks old. Let's see. He's 13 weeks
Yeah.
old today. He's been with us since he was 10 weeks.
Okay. All right. Good. 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 All right. He really is doing a wonderful check-in. And then why did you toss a treat away from you? What was that about?
Just so he can refocus on something else. There's other dogs
Nice.
over there, there's other people, but he's
Okay.
choosing to come back and check in with distractions. And you can see in
Nice.
the background, we have some dogs in crates there. They're all waiting their turn to play the game.
All right. I love this. I love this. Now, does Mac, so Mac and Mac's parents, pet parents,
Mhm.
guardians get homework and they get their rewards with a really fun puppy. And one of the things we talked about, remember the family, what did you call that? You called that the family something event, remember?
Oh, I said we're a very family oriented event. So this is not just us working with the puppy. The parents get
Right.
home. Yeah, the parents get homework every time they go home, and they get told what the puppy's done today, where the puppy is developmentally, if they're in a fear period or sensitivity period.
Okay.
Excuse me. Good job. And then they have homework to work on until the puppy comes back again.
Okay.
So,
All right. As
and we can
family,
tell.
possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can tell if they're
Wow.
not working on it. It shows. This family, this family is great. Mac is their first puppy for their family,
Yeah.
and they stay very active and ask me if they have any questions. So they're fabulous.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad. It really helps if everybody is on the same page. So
Yes.
the game book, if everybody's on the same page of the game book. So again, we talk about games. That's so important to me. If they're not having fun, I'm doing something wrong. That's really what I believe. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, absolutely. They must have fun. Haven't they? They must have fun. So right now he's jumping up. I'm really going to reward him when he comes back down.
All right.
And
So
we're going
tell
to
us
get him
about
back
that.
off
You
the
called
couch.
it, and as do shelters, call it 4 on the floor. Tell us about
Yes.
4 on the floor.
So one of the biggest things they say when the puppies are young is that they're always jumping on everything and jumping on people. So
Mm-hmm.
what we're doing is we reward every time he's 4 on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime he's sitting, standing, or lying down, he can have, as long as he has 4 paws on the floor, he gets rewarded.
Nice.
And it
Nice.
reduces the jumping we have.
Okay, because we see that so much in adult dogs, so much, and I love my big guys. I'm a Rottweiler Shepherd, huge Labrador person, and they're big. And when they jump, and the other thing is they jump and they can knock over the toddlers, they can scare the elders. So I think now, and I'm not going to jump out of your wheelhouse, but if they have an adult dog that has already learn this behavior of jumping, can they do the same thing?
Oh, absolutely. We
Okay.
when dogs come into our daycare that aren't nursery or preschoolers,
Yeah.
we still in our daycare group play. We reward 4 on the floor.
Okay.
So we get a lot of comments of what kind of training did you do? And we're like, we didn't really. And they said, well, the dog's not jumping as much. And I'm like, okay, well, that's just part of our world here. 4 on the floor gets you everything. Good job.
The coolest thing I saw in a public shelter one time was that, and I know that it's used more now. It's a PVC pipe, a piece of pipe, maybe 2 feet long, and it goes down straight into the kennel. And as soon as the dog is sitting, like you said, 4 on the floor, they go ahead and they drop a treat down this PVC pipe, and it goes straight to the dog. So they're not hand feeding through the kennel gate or anything. It is so awesome. And I wished I could do that at my front door when the UPS man shows up.
Oh, absolutely.
As soon as the dogs are quiet, going ahead and rewarding him that way. All right, we have already knocked out 2 games that we wanted to talk about today. 2 out of 4. And tell us, do you have anything else you want to say about that? The check-in. Oh, there we go, harnessed up.
Yep.
About check-in or 4 on the floor. Is there anything else that you would like to tell us? Because we're going to have hundreds of viewers with hundreds of puppies. So anything else about those 2? Or?
No, those are easy. Once you just start getting used to that habit, can you help her get him out real quick? And then there we go. He needs to go potty, but he didn't want to leave us. So no, as long as you're just rewarding those behaviors as you get them. The key is to not call their name and talk to them all the time. To reward what you're getting.
Oh my gosh, tell us about that. Not call their name and talk to them. Oh my gosh, that's what we want to do. I want to chat them all up. So tell us about that. Don't call my name. Tell us what.
So when the automatic check-in is taking place, or if they're rewarded just for standing, we just don't always say, puppy do this, puppy do that, puppy do this. Because the more they're rewarded, how their brain works is, how do I get my world to work for me? So they quickly figure out.
Stop right there. Stop right there. That is brilliant. Brilliant. You remind me of Sam Wyke of the Inner Dog. Tell us that again. How the world, tell us that again. What?
How the brain works is, how do I get the world to work for me?
How do I get the world to work for me? I'm going to write that down. That is brilliant for everybody. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so that's how their brains are thinking.
Yes.
All right.
So
how do I?
The more they look at us and we reward it, the more they do things that we like and we reward it, the more they do it without us asking.
And so why don't we want all that other chatter? Why don't we want to introduce words, etc.? Is the brain just, can it only handle so much, or what? What do you think?
Down the road, you can introduce words and cues,
Okay.
but we tend, and I'm not saying don't talk to your dog. I chatter with mine quite a bit, but I
Yeah.
understand that they don't understand English. English is not their first language. Their body language is. So we're trying to speak what they speak.
All right. Speaking of which, if you can either introduce this puppy, or we could talk just a little bit about the name game, or what do you want to do now? Talk about this puppy, where this is at?
Yeah. Well,
we don't have long. I mean, long on the puppy brain. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a Biggie. And Biggie, can you face the camera? There you go. This is his first day. He's a Doge de Bordeaux, and I apologize to all people who speak French for messing up that pronunciation. Good job.
Oh my gosh. I am so glad that we're not only on Facebook, but we're also on YouTube, so people get to see this at BlackWing Farms. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Okay, so go ahead. So day one, what are you doing here, day one?
So day one, we're getting him comfortable with people, and he's pretty happy with people, and we're getting him comfortable with just checking in with us. And can I have some big kibble, please? There we go. And then Miss Amanda walked away with food. He's focused on that. Good job.
Nice.
We're also, one of the games you and I had talked about was the collar game, or the harness game.
Okay, tell us about that.
So that's one of the things we start out is touching his harness everywhere, so that when you need to, you can hold him without him having a meltdown or running away from you.
So you mean like the top of the harness, the side, the belly, everything? You're just kind of touching the harness and letting it go? All right.
And if he wants to get down, he can get down. We're just going to touch all around. And he's a giant breed, so it takes a lot to build a really big puppy. So he gets tired faster. But he's having a good day.
So big dogs get tired faster. Do their brains get tired faster also?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Yeah. Like, some dogs can go all day long with training or, ideas, but some of them just, they kind of flatline. My dogs used to get that glazed over look like I can't handle anymore.
Yes. And it just scientifically, you're trying to grow a dog that's going to ultimately be about 110 pounds. So he's still got a lot of growing to do. He's only, he's 13 weeks old right now, I think, 13 weeks old.
And he's going to be 110. Here's a couple of things, Melanie, because you and I talked about, continuing to work together. And what I would love is, let's check in with this dog in a couple of weeks. And then, who knows, a couple months. I would love that. And we can follow the progress. Some of us would call it case study, but we can follow the progress. Wonderful. Oh my gosh. All right. So that was the, and I'm going to tell you, again, old school, and I get schooled all the time by the, the new ideas and the new trainers. I get scolded on calling it the collar game. Or the collar grab. I'm trying to change my vocabulary. Collar game, not the collar grab. But I think, and like what you were doing with the harness, because so many of us are going to harnesses. But what we talked about was public safety, and not only safety for the public, but safety for the dogs, the people, etc. Because the first thing that people want to do in public is say, I'm really good with dogs, and they want to bop them on the top of the head. So, pet them, but maybe that is. And dogs don't like it when we come over the top of them, right?
No, it's not the most polite way to greet. If I came along and I said, hey, Meg, how are you? You would pretty quickly go away from me.
Exactly. At my 5'1" stature, I would not appreciate that. So, but again, and because you have to lunge, not lunge, but you have to go forward. You have to, your whole arm, possibly your jacket, is going over the top of their head. I view that as a threat. So, when they don't want to go back in their crate, because I know we're crate training, when they don't want to go back in their crate, you got a quick one on that? Toss treats in there? What, what?
We toss treats. We toss toys. We have different toys that they like and chew on in there.
Okay.
So we do that. And then we reward when they're in there and having a good time and comfortable.
Nice.
So that
Nice.
ultimately they learn that this is where they want to be. It's harder for puppies because when a puppy's playing, the other puppies want to be out too.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then they don't want to go back. Okay. So there we are at Dog Park, or, just meet and greet on the corner of, 72nd and, Alexander. And, the dog is having a good time and sniffing and greeting, etc. And then it's time to go home. So going home is almost as a punishment because we're taking them out of a really enjoyable situation, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's the same thing. So getting them into a kennel, getting them to walk home, getting them in the front door, it can all be sometimes difficult. We have a poster that we made. Actually, Sarah Ordonez made it for us, and it's called Calm at All Doors. And it's a dog at doggy park, getting into the car, in his kennel, etc. So it's, calm all the time is what I love. So,
yeah,
okay.
when people walk in our kennel, they usually, the two things they say is, we don't smell like a lot of places and we aren't as noisy. And I'm like, well, just because our dogs they're happy in their crates, they're happy in their kennels.
Yeah.
And so we reward that a lot. But a lot of them started from puppyhood or preschool, others at an older age. And you can walk through our kennel and it's fairly quiet most of the time. If they're not playing, they're just hanging out.
Yeah, and the other thing about, it doesn't smell like, other places, that has a lot to do with product, but it's got so much to do with, I don't want to call it control, but it's kind of like, potty vigilance. Is that a word?
Uh-huh.
Potty vigilance. A diligence.
I would take that.
Yeah, potty vigilance. I like that. I'm going to write that one down too. And so tell us about that in a puppy. What are the signals that they're going to give you? I need the potty.
So every puppy gives you different signals. Some actually start going to the door when they're a little bit older because they've learned that that's the way out. Others make a little noise, or if they're in their crate, they may turn around and spin, whereas they were laying down quietly beforehand. So it's different things, and it's really about watching what their body language says. And once you do that, then again, it's how their brain works. They start figuring out every time I do this, then they take me go to the potty. And so they start doing it more and more.
Wonderful.
Good job.
And again, we've got so many shelters where, if you walk into one kennel area, I was actually at a New Mexico shelter, you walk into one kennel area and there are over 150 dogs in the one kennel area. And there's literally there's 3 large dogs per kennel. And so, for the volunteers to walk in there and look, everybody's spinning, everybody's whining, everybody's, so again, in a perfect world. And that's what,
Kennel situations are different. They're stressed because, the dogs are rescued. So our dogs here, even if they've come from rescues, and we have several puppies that have done that, they're in a situation where they've got a good home life. So they're just learning at that point, and it's not as stressful. I admire people who can do that with the kennels because it's a lot.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right. So, because again, coming back and what we can talk about, because what I love, your philosophy is whatever we do as a puppy will translate to an adult dog. You're not doing anything special. What you're doing, though, and here's what I wrote down before we even started talking, you are avoiding future problems.
Yes, absolutely. The more we can set them up for success now and continue that. And it's partly not just getting the dogs on that same train of thought, but it's getting the humans. Once they start rewarding these check-ins, then it becomes habit for them too. And then you have more of your dog paying attention to you, less of your dog jumping, because 4 on the floor has been a good thing for everybody.
Yeah. I had a border collie as a kid, and we were inseparable. And by the time I was 10 years old, I had a pony. So I had we would go out on these really, really long rides, and my dog would be gone for sometimes 10, 15 minutes. But as soon as I said check in, she came, and maybe she only came to the edge of the woods, gave me eye contact, and I'd say, okay. And then that was the release. Do you use a release word at all?
Not at this stage of the game. We don't
Not
use a
at this
release
stage.
word.
I like that. Okay. Okay.
Their attention span is pretty short. So you get a check in and then they're off to something else. So
They've
we're just
already
rewarding
themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But that's really nice. And so what we're looking for, again, in an older dog is possibly the longevity of the stay or the eye contact or the,
Yes.
I used to love wait for it. And that's what I would tell all, wait for it, and then it was either another reward or a release, which was also a reward. Okay. All right. Wow. We're going through this. So, I love this. Absolutely. And do we have somebody new out there who's wandering around now?
We do. No, that's still Biggie. He's about to go in his crate and we're going to get somebody else to play with.
All right.
Can we get Bree, please? If you'll take Biggie to potty. And in the back, we're covering Mac just a little bit because he's getting overexcited, and that's also very, very frustrating. So we will cover him, and then we'll uncover him when he's quiet and cover him again. But it just allows him to not get overstimulated, and that's what we want, so he can learn that.
Yeah, this is diligence, and I see one of your staff hanging out back there. Who is that?
That's Amanda. She's my wonderful nursery supervisor.
Yay, Amanda. Woo! We all need an Amanda. And
we all do. We all need an Amanda.
Yeah, and I think diligence is so important too. And it doesn't have to last all day. It can be for that critical 5 or 10 minutes, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So who's this? Who is this?
This is Bree. And Bree, so Bree is a golden doodle, and she is at 14 weeks old. So next week she starts what we call our transition period. So she'll start playing in group with a few more dogs that she's seen and met, and but she may have 2 or 3 at a time instead of just one if she's comfortable. And she'll start spending some time in the kennel area because after they graduate and they go to preschool, as long as they're comfortable, they go to the kennel area. So she becomes she's on her way to being a big girl now. So she knows her name.
I love it. Okay, so 2 things I want to comment on. You have quiet in the back already. You have quiet in the back. I hear nothing back there. I don't hear whining or barking. Right. I don't want to break the spell, but that's really wonderful. And that was within a minute and a half of covering the crate. So that was beautiful. All right. Okay, so let's go on to, because we're already at 23 minutes. I can't believe it, but I know, but I want to get in the name game because that's what everybody wants. And I think that's what we end up not doing according to the dog's world. So tell us about the name game and how we can best get that.
In the name game, we're going to call the name once, and I'm going to set her up for success. So I'm going to make sure she's already kind of headed towards me before I call her name to begin with.
Nice. Okay. This is what I learned at the Arizona Animal Welfare League. They waited till the dog had actually, older dogs, older puppies, like, 3, 4, 5 months, when they were actually standing in front of the person, then the person called their name. It was fabulous. And to hear all these people singing and dancing, I call it the Dr. Dunbar, Ian Dunbar. I call it the Dr. Dunbar dance. He does the happy dance. And he continually moves away as he's wiggling his own body. I mean, Dr. Dunbar is one of the greatest guys. And so I call it, it's the happy dance. And I think that is super important when we use their name, correct?
Yes. And when we use it once.
We use it once. Okay. All right.
We tend to say their names over and over and over, which is fine. But what they hear is a string of noise. So if they're rewarded after a string of noise, then that's what they learn. So if I called her and I said, Bree, 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 and she came, then that would be calling she would learn that would be her name. Hang on just a second. Got another puppy coming in. Come here, pumpkin. There we go. There we go. Let's turn you to face the camera so everybody can see you.
Oh,
Biggie's coming in.
And I like the way you're holding. You're holding under the body, broad hand across the chest, and the rear end supported, because that is really huge too. You know, we've got to support that full body rear end, and keep our hands right. Keep an arm under those hind legs. Cool. Way cool.
And then we let her run down and go play now with a human, but she's like, "Oh, I did so good." Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Did you see me? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So I'm gonna call her name in just a second. Bree. So I waited till she started to come towards me, and then I called her name.
I saw that. Okay, so she did turn. She was just taking a step in your direction. Bree. No, she's not.
Good job.
Nice.
So
okay.
As she's starting to turn, and then as she gets older, and now we could call her from other things. She's having a drink of water, so we're going to let her drink real quick.
Nice. Okay. The other thing that I think you've done also is, you know, you've created not only a very happy environment, which is one of my buzzwords. I love happy. I call it safe, sound, and happy. But again, you know, they feel safe. They're not being reprimanded in any way for being dogs.
No, they're puppies. We're not going to reprimand them. I don't tend to do that to adult dogs either.
I was just going to say,
nursery,
no, we don't. Yeah, we don't reprimand. You know, and again, we talk about force-free, fear-free. That is just massively huge. Yeah. And I know you're part of Pet Pro Guild, right? Pet Professional Guild.
Pet Professional Guild, yes.
Yeah, and you're part of the Victoria Stillwell.
If you watch with Bree, she gets a little nervous when hands go over her head, so we wait until she gets closer, and then pet her on the back of the head.
Yeah.
Because she's backed away a couple of times. There you go. She's like, "Oh, that's a little much."
Yeah.
And we just let her do that. And then when she comes back, then we're more polite to her, and we handle her more in fashion that works for her.
Well, you got three really nice. You got three really nice pats, strokes over the top of her head and her body. Oh my gosh! All right, listen, we only have 2 minutes left. What do you want to tell us in those 2 minutes?
I guess if I was telling you anything, it'd be, if you have a puppy, reward those automatic check-ins, and then anything else you like. Anything the puppies do. What do you mean by that?
What do you reward anything else we like?
So people tend to think of things they don't want their dog to do. I don't want my dog to jump. I don't want my dog to bark. I don't want my dog to do whatever.
Okay.
So instead of thinking in the I don't want this, we tend to only, if we think that way, we tend to give that attention. So in this case, I reward what I do like. And I'm like, wow, I have a puppy who is standing still and not jumping up. And for a doodle not jumping up, that's huge. So having her just calmly stand here, I'm going to reward that.
Wow.
Bree, good job.
Wow. I love
it. I just called her name. She was actually starting to eat a treat, and I called her name, and she came to me anyway.
Wow. Oh, hon, I love it. I love it. Hey, we got to sign off, but we've got delightful-dog.com, Melanie Phillips, and your program is amazing. And I know you've got some future plans for your business, and I'm super excited. We'll share that next time. And I hope anybody who's got any questions, please just check in, and I will turn those straight over to Melanie and her wonderful staff and her clients, customers, families, etc. So can't thank you enough for today, Melanie. Thank you so much, hon.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
All right. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.